So this is Jordan's Lee chess profile in our international adult class. And we're looking at tactics. We can actually pull tactics from his own games, which is one of the really neat things about leechess.org. So we go over to your puzzles. So this, oh, yeah, I think I could pull that on yours, right? So puzzles right here. And we go to from my games, which are his games. That's pretty cool. We can even see Jordan's improvement areas, huh? Nothing to show, really.
Well, it's because it's set to last
Oh,
30
it's my
days.
own. No, sorry. No, you know what? It's my own. I don't think I could do it for you, Jordan. But at any
Okay.
rate, this gets the point across. So let's look at some of my puzzles, and then you could share screen on yours as well. But since I already have this open, so these are my
Okay.
puzzles that are up here. So we have 15, and there's even a 923 puzzle. So we could just work our way up. It's like you're doing the puzzle rush on chess.com, where it gets harder and harder and harder. I'm not sure if Lee Chess has the equivalent. So one of them is a 2693. That's pretty cool. And 2693 on Lee Chess is pretty tough. But let's start with the basic one, and we want to look at like what are the red flags, or I guess like to know when the tactics are there from both sides. So here's a tactic. Oh, okay, that's mine. It's 2516. And see, it's way lower here. It's like 3,000 something on chess.com. Chess.com has just become way inflated. So these are pretty hard. This is, and obviously this doesn't mean like what it's not equivalent to what your rating would be overall. So, this is very, very easy. Um, but you still want to look around and see what are the vulnerabilities, right? What's the scope of the pieces, right? Are there any forcing moves, which would be checks, captures, and threats, right? And you want to look at any essentially loose pieces or pawns, which are different, right? Loose pieces and exposed kings. So do we have any looseness in white's position? Do we have an exposed king? Kind of, right? He's out there. You move the F pawn, the king has come out of it. So he's semi-exposed. And do we have anything that's loose or either under defended? Maybe it only has one defender, or it's just completely not hanging, but undefended. That doesn't mean it's hanging. And then hanging is if it's, they say, on pre, ready to be taken, right? So let's take a look at this one. And of course, you want to do the same defensively. Oh, they want to take my queen. That's the context. If I don't do something good, I'm going to lose, right? Okay, so we look at forcing moves, checks, captures, and threats. In that order, that should be the hierarchy of forcing moves. They say always check must be made. Okay, so we know the vulnerabilities. So that gives us some context. And again, we know our queen's under attack. You also want to know how many pieces there are. Well, we have knight, bishop, bishop, knight, knight, bishop. So equal minor pieces, rook, rook, queen, queen. So pieces are the same, 6 pawns, 6 pawns. So it's totally, we're at parity in terms of material, right? Okay, so what do you guys think? Now we look for forcing moves. We look for the weakness, and we look for intersection of pieces, scope of pieces. So as the attacker, let's see, which is the red one? There we go. So, this is irrelevant over here, but we're definitely seeing something dangerous from the knight, if you can see this pawn, right? And then same thing with the queen, right? Okay, I don't think we're taking b3. We might run away, which is lame. So what's the intersection point? Where's that intersection point, guys? I mean, obviously, you may as well say it.
E3.
So we have e3, and so it's a very simple method, right? Exposed king, under defended. We have two attackers, they have one defender. So we should certainly consider, doesn't mean we just do it outright, but this should be our primary candidate move. We might have something else. I don't think there is even anything else. Okay, there's a capture on e5, which doesn't do anything and just exposes our own king by giving up our dark square bishop and letting the bishop roam in there. So yeah, we should certainly look at that. I mean, secondary move would be the knight takes. And the nice thing is, in terms of context, this bishop is on light squares, really cutting off a lot. And the knight here cuts off a lot too. Okay, so how about queen takes e3 check? Now let's analyze that. And if it works, we'll do it. But first, analyze it. What do you guys think?
It looks like checkmate.
Oh, Jordan, you have 67 puzzles. Yeah, that's cool. It looks like checkmate. Queen takes e3. Is that mate? Covered, 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 covered. That pawn's in his own way. That's covered. There's a different color for that. But those are all covered by our knight here and bishop on these two right here. Queen will be covering this way, and this way. So that's checkmate. And there's nothing else guarding it. And we have two attackers, one defender. That's checkmate. Okay, let's do the same thing, and then we'll go over to yours, Jordan. So let's go back to my puzzles. Yeah, we'll just start with easy ones because that'll really be instructive in terms of emphasizing these concepts of the sirens that you look for. And that'll help you in your own game, obviously, because if you're doing a puzzle, well, we know there's a tactic. But in your own game, you want to know when to, you know, when the tactics are most likely to happen for both sides and how to identify them. And given that we know about loose pieces and exposed kings and how dangerous those can be, well, we can try to avoid those ourselves and try to create them for our opponent. Okay, very obvious one, of course, right? So same thing, right? King is out there. He's not nice and tucked. Ours is relatively tucked in, maybe here on G1, but he's covered by pawns and the rook, right? Queen's nearby, bishop's nearby. No one's getting into him. No one's getting close to him. Okay, so this king is out there. He could become vulnerable on the H file, and he could be vulnerable laterally, and his own pawns and pieces are in his way, and he's against the side. So he's, quote, stalemated, not actual stalemate, but he's stalemated in the sense that he has no legal moves. So always check and might be mate, right? Checks, captures, threats. We don't really have any captures to look at. Maybe this in some bizarre scenarios, but we have a capture with check, right? It's a check. So what's the move we should consider? Loose pieces, exposed king. So there are two intersecting there. So what? Obviously, it's too easy. I'll just say rook takes f5. It's checkmate because the pawn on g3 cuts him off. So that's easy. Let's just do that. Did I get any points for solving my own puzzle? I'll make it unrated. Okay, good puzzle, success. We'll do unrated. You can't lose points on your own puzzles, especially not if it's a 1054. Okay, let's go up a little bit. Let's do something intermediate. So which one of these? They're both rated 1660. Which one should we do? The end game or the late middle game attacking scenario? Which one do you guys want to do? All the way to the left.
We were talking about an end game. So.
Let's do the end game. Okay. So this is a 1600 level puzzle. So I'm playing. So I was 28. I'm playing a 2195. This is from a board.
This isn't so hard. I see it mating too.
Okay, so let's talk about the context again. Well, there's a king. He's in the middle. Now, it doesn't look too bad because, generally speaking, because it's an end game, right? In an end game, the king wants to come out, but he's gotten himself kind of sequestered in there, right? Two pawns are in his way. We have some pawns on this side that could come after him, and we have a rook cutting him off on the top. So he's stalemated. Oh no, almost stalemated. He only has one square, but we know we can catch him there if he goes in.
And he's restricted. Yeah. Restricted.
Yeah, and technically there is a loose rook. That's not a feature that matters in this puzzle, probably, but there is a loose rook too. So we have all the ingredients for tactics, but obviously our target right now, right in front of us.
Yeah, I see it.
So what's the line then? Forcing moves. Okay, there's a check that doesn't work. So what's your other forcing move?
F5.
Okay, and we'll calculate the whole thing before moving, get in the habit, right? So F5 check. Where is he going to go?
He only has one legal move. He has to go to E5.
Okay, then what?
Give a rook check.
Yeah.
Check. Only other checks the rook, and he's in mate. Yeah, he's a checkmate. Now our king is, well, and the pawn are covering F6, guarding the pawn on E6, guarding D6. This pawn guards D5. His own pawns are in his way. So perfect mating net. It's always fun to checkmate the king in the middle of the board. Check. Checkmate. Okay, now let's do one hard one. And then let's do Jordan's. Well, Jordan, let's do yours right now, actually. But the thing is, I don't know if I'm able to pull up yours. Let me see.
I can share my screen if
just share your screen because I'm actually curious really quickly. Am I able to pull up someone else's? Because this is over here is my stats, right? But where are your stats on puzzles? Doesn't it have it somewhere? Don't you have?
I don't know, but I can share.
On chess.com they have that. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't say your puzzle rating though. More?
It's 24.
Yeah, I guess I can't see yours. On chess.com, it'll be listed on the right. Some of those. Oh, insight. There we go. Analytics. Let's see if it has generate. Oh, I'm going to generate insights for you. Let's get some data on Jordan. All right. Do I gain more rating points against weaker or stronger opponents? Now, I'm not sure if it has puzzles in here, but so what are you the best at, though? Obviously, it makes sense. It should be that you have higher cent upon loss in bullet. However, you actually have slightly You actually are slightly
So,
better at blitz than rapid. You'd expect the trend to go downward here. That's
well,
interesting.
some of that is when I played, like when I was at the peak, I was playing more blitz. I don't play blitz anymore.
Unless
So
we can, well, we can probably like ask it in, in the query and put it by date
like
or something. I don't know.
like I used to be a stronger player like 3 years ago, and I was playing all the time. And I was playing
Yeah. We have a
more
bigger data set for
blitz.
rapid too. So you have more ways to go wrong in rapid as well. But you were playing more blitz. Okay, interesting.
When I was good, I was playing more blitz. Now that I'm weaker, I play.
And this is completely expected that chess 960 would have higher cent upon loss because you're not following opening theory. Since you're following opening theory that computers and the really strong theorists, GMs have come up with, naturally, like in a rapid game, you'll be following theory for 5 to 15 moves or so. Those moves will be more accurate, meaning lower cent upon loss, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
can I
oh no,
share
here we
my
go. Okay, wait, oh,
puzzles?
this might be it. Oh, these are full games that generate the insight. I'm not sure if those are puzzles, but yeah, you share. Hold
Right.
on. Go ahead, you
But
share.
so if
I
I
can't believe you have
share,
67 puzzles. That's crazy.
yeah, we've had this conversation before,
Oh, okay.
but
Can you
it's been a
can you
long
move the
time.
can you move that stuff out of the way, like the video, to the right a
Like
bit?
this.
Yeah, the yeah. Now it's not, now it's covering the bottom. I don't know. Maybe move it to the right. It's
Man, I'm
it's
trying to find all this on
it's fine.
phone version.
Okay, so what are we? Yeah, it's kind of small now though. Can you zoom in on it a little bit? Okay, cool. So which one do you guys want to do? Let's do something in the middle to start with. Maybe like a. You got some pretty high level. Wait, what's your highest one? 2279? Oh, 2793.
2793.
Wow. Okay. Let's start with the middle one though.
That
I
is
don't.
high.
Let's do like a 2000 or 1800 or something. Let's do like an 1800 level. There's another end game.
This
You want to do middle game? Well, that looks cool. The middle game on the right, the 1758. That looks interesting because I see hanging stuff. And there's a really congested bishop on a2. There's a hanging knight, right? So again, why don't you break it down first, Jordan, in terms of, again, first things first, it's good to know the context, pieces. So for example, if we're down a piece, you're down a bunch of material, winning something back is not adequate. It's not sufficient, right? You would have to go for checkmate. So do we have equal material here? No.
we had
It's a
white
balance.
has four pieces, a rook, a queen, and four pawns. Black has three pieces, two rooks, and two, four,
Minor
six
pieces, right?
pawns.
Three minor pieces.
Three minor pieces. So black is up an exchange and two pawns.
So black, so
Yeah,
meaning that if you were to get a little bit of material, it generally speaking wouldn't be adequate. You need more than that, right? So
okay.
now, okay, just a little before you look at the move, it's just really good to know the context. So the ones that we know that the sirens are going off that we should be looking for tactics, and two, just because it's good to know how to assess positions accurately. So let's talk about obviously the knight's hanging, so we have an element of tactics there. As for this time, I'm noticing a lot of well, we want to look at piece activity, right? There's an intersection there on f6. We're seeing a lot of juicy squares for that knight. Yes, the knight's under attack. It can move to a lot of places that are aggressive. The bishop sucks on a2. That's an awful piece. That's your worst piece. The knight on g1, quickly, he's defending. He can quickly come out. As for black, well, they block their bishop on b7. The rook on b8 is not so great. So what else do you analyze? Before you look at the move, Jordan, what are some other features of this position that you notice?
Um, yeah, White's in a lot of trouble. Like if he doesn't find this tactic, I'm just looking like it's
But
It looks like
don't say any moves yet. First, just assessment on and karma. Just for a little bit. I'd spend a minute on the assessment and karma. What do you
like
think?
there's just a lot of loose things. Like this is loose. This is obviously a bad bishop, but it's also
Well,
unprotected.
it is defended by the queen, but it's just a bad piece. Yeah, it's just not helping you. It's probably not going to be a tactical feature, but it's just not helping you attack.
If there's
Or
was some way, you know, like to combine some of these black weaknesses, like obviously if this like if this is protecting like some weak squares, Um,
Yeah, weak squares is in no pawns that could defend those squares ever again. You see all the pawns on light squares, meaning he's strong on light, weak on dark squares, right? We're over there.
White has like these weaknesses
Uh-huh.
um, in an end game, right? Even in a middle game. Yes, like yeah, wait some.
Oh, black has A5. A5 is a weakness. You have, yeah, B3, D3. So now D3 is attacked once and defended once, which I would say means it's, well, let's say inadequately defended, kind of loose, right? Um, and there is a bishop that has nice scope. Well, it's blocked now, but the B7 bishop is looking at the king through an X-ray. And now, okay, you mentioned the dark squares that are weak, and we see an intersection point. That's where we start to home in on the answer. What's the intersection point for white with this?
I see that you can
F6.
And
hit
Carmen, yeah,
F6.
Carmen, what were you saying?
I think that you kind of want to go on offense in this position as well, since the queen also sees H6 as well. So it could be some kind of like mating net where
Yeah,
you trade some pieces off and maybe get more activity on that side of the board.
yeah, and so we kind of that would lead us to determine like where the zone of attack is, right? So we're justified here in going after our opponent's kings. We have all this scope against dark square, and what's the intersection point, Carmen? Where the power of your pieces are intersecting.
Probably F6.
F6. We already have two on that. And by the way, there's a tactical feature here because if we come in, well, we want to get rid of, as Jordan, I think someone maybe who said that, I think Jordan said getting rid of the dark squared bishop. That would allow us to, I guess it would say, harvest the dark squares. And then we have the feature of H6 as well. So what's okay, now let's look at forcing.
Thinking
So,
the other thing that the one of the only things white has going for it is that black has this wedge, which is keeping all these pieces from helping in the defense of the king.
yeah, it's interesting that you say that because the knight on E5 is contributing to that. Now, normally in a French, well, it probably got taken. In a French, there would be a pawn on E5 that would hinder black's movement. Here, the knight is hindering. So, for example, if black had a chance, they might play like E5 and have lateral defense or something like that. But yeah, they're all stuck on light squares or on light
See,
squares.
I'm so confused how this is a 2400 level puzzle because obviously a move for black was just
Oh no,
F5.
this is my puzzle rating.
Oh,
It's
oh,
not
oh, okay,
24.
okay.
Oh, and then yeah,
Yeah,
and the
because
puzzle.
F5
So the
was just
puzzle
a
ratings
more
in the
logical move.
1700s. Was
You
that?
literally, yeah, white just gave up a white mate in 4, and then also just you see that once you move the D pawn, C5 is also available for the knight to fork your queen and bishop as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's a juicy. That's what I'm saying in terms of juicy
Yeah, this
squares.
is just made in 4.
That's suddenly a weakness. Now we don't want to just jump at that because we're not going to get anything good out of it, right? But we have now. Sometimes what happens too is let's say like you see knight F6 check. Now
Yeah.
maybe sometimes your opponent will have a good response, and then you'll kind of have to keep solving new puzzles each move, right? And that's how
Right.
chess is really. Every move is like its own puzzle. So yeah, knight F6 check, that's your forcing move. That's the only check. So we have to look at that. And then there's bishop F6, which is way less forcing. So what's going on here? Oh, Jordan, you're already showing the line, right? So you do knight F6 check. What's the line? Tell me the full line.
Uh, so if he takes, which he will, or he'll lose his queen, then you recapture the bishop with your bishop, and you have the you solidify the wedge, which is keeping these defenders out
Uh-huh.
and continuing the attack of the dark squares. And then your idea is that the queen will come into the to h6, and you're gonna mate him on the g7 square.
Right, right. And then just add that other arrow. Well, I'll do it for you here.
The
Okay.
only the only way to slow it down for black is to play G5 and then knight G6.
Oh,
After
interesting.
the
Yeah, but
trade, after the
it's
trade,
just
yeah.
haste. It's just gonna prolong his
Inevitable.
existence for a few
Yeah.
moves. Um, so here, this is our target, right? Boom, boom, boom. Obviously the king, but that's really what we want to get at. That's our focal point. I mentioned Art of Attack and Chess by Vukovic. That's what we want. And by bringing our knight to F6, and then yeah, you had the arrow before. I just added that arrow. that forces him to take, or else he loses the queen. Now we're down material. That's the context. But if we get the queen, we're pretty happy. Then we're up. Oh, and by the way, we take the queen with a fork, right? So yeah, so he pretty much takes. Then if he doesn't want to lose, and then we'll take with the bishop, thereby threatening queen h6 and mate. So let's see what happens. Oh wait, pause. Oh well, then so we're not getting a mate now. Double check, always double check, because hey, maybe sometimes like the queen's bait, but you actually have a mate, but there's no mate anymore, right? Because then you take the queen and you win. Nice.
And see, so I think I already solved this puzzle once, so I don't get any points. You had never solved the one you did, so you got.
Oh, did it give me points for solving my own puzzle?
I think so, because you'd never solved it before.
Unless I solved it in my game itself. But there are a few caveats. So, for example,
Oh, so lichess on the computer, I'm sorry, is way better with all these
it's pretty
tools.
Cool. Well, everyone has every side has its own benefits.
No, I just mean the computer version of lichess versus the phone version of lichess. I didn't mean comparing chess.com and stuff.
Oh, within itself. Okay.
Yeah. Just lichess strictly like on the computer. You have all those tools. I'm getting on there soon.
Yeah, I mean the apps are always way more simplistic, right?
Right. But we have on iPads now, there's like you could have a PC emulator, and so I think I'll be able to just even at my own convenience do that.
Cool. Do you guys have one too? Carmen or Isaiah, do you guys have a lot of games on lichess?
Oh, I definitely do. I play it on there daily.
I'm trying to get more in.
Let's check your guys and see if you guys have any puzzles for us to attack here.
I play there, and then I play on this new one called Social Chess. It's pretty cool.
Is that like it's like the blue sky of chess?
Probably, yeah. It's like this new one. Everyone really likes how the interface is just the design and stuff. And actually, you have this really cool like scroll bar, like you know how on your webpage you have the scroll bar on the side that you drag and stuff to go on a website. That's basically at the bottom, always at your convenience with your arrows to go through the moves as well. Yeah, of the game.
So it's a little more. It's almost like a little more computer-like. Well, it's kind of like if you want the desktop version of Gmail, you could do it.
Yeah, somebody along the way eventually finally said, "Okay, chess.com, you're not innovating enough." And yeah, they're gonna try and make their own business out of your lackings because I don't know who's paying for diamond memberships, but
yeah, I mean,
lichess is just way better. Lichess is just way better all around. And
very much a monopoly. Yeah, lichess is the main competitor, I guess, these days. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Has there been an antitrust lawsuit? Probably. Well, Neiman sued Magnus for 100 million. I don't know what ended up happening with that. He probably didn't get anything out of it. I think it was it like a jurisdiction issue or something?
Yeah, or I think
he didn't. I don't think he got $100 million out of it. Pretty sure.
I don't think so either. I don't even think they settled.
That would have been all over chess.com, right?
Yeah, I think he just completely lost.
It would be on other sites. They wouldn't want to advertise it. Anyway, it would be in the Guardian or something.
You would think he would sue Magnus. Magnus wasn't the one who made the rumor of the anal beads.
Actually, what I thought is like if you look at like the origin of memes or whatever, there's some researchers do that. I recall seeing something on Twitter, like a joke on Twitter that took off, like it started a rumor. I don't know if it started there, but it wouldn't surprise me unless it starts in some sketchy site like 4chan or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so who's Isaiah? Are you able to pull yours up and show? Oh, you can't, or you're not able to do it.
Yeah, I'm only on my phone.
Okay, Carmen, how about you? Do you play a lot of games on lichess?
I don't think I have enough games. I could check. I think I only have like 10 or 20.
Some data set for them to work with. Here, I'll pull up one more of mine. You check yours in the meantime. Let's pull up one more of mine. Let's see. Let's go back. I'll share screen again.
Excuse me.
So we got back. So we go back. Should be able to get to the puzzles. I don't know. Okay, we'll just go to my profile. Okay. Yeah, we got our pawn Jordan for playing in the FIDE social chess day. And I guess they changed my color because I've been a patron for 4 years. I give them $5 a month. So let's see. I mean, it's like
congratulations.
It's like give to NPR or something. It's like you get to listen for free, but if it's especially now that the government has defunded it. Anyway, so let's go to puzzles.
I love how lichess, like their puzzles really seem to follow through a bit more on than compared to chess.com's. Like I don't know if anyone else ever noticed like when
Uh-huh.
you kind of, it feels like the puzzle's early. It's over early.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, that's why chess tempo is so good. Jordan, you were probably thinking about that, right?
He was saying that
I've
he
noticed
mentioned
that, yeah, chess tempo is so good for that
he
reason.
said he plugged them.
When I was really improving at chess, I was doing chess tempo every day. Like
Yeah, it's very good.
when
Chess
I went
tempo,
from like
TEMPO.
1400 USCF to like 1620s,
Nice.
I was doing chess tempo every day. And now I'm old and not as sharp as I once was, but
No, you're
David's
good.
helping.
Oh, by the way, I have to plug something else. Jordan mentioned that he played what's it called, Jordan? It's a board game competition, which
A
is pretty
World
cool,
Series of board gaming, yeah.
in Vegas, right? And he did what?
Yeah.
He did better than last year. He did pretty well last year too. Wait, you said you played so a really big one is was it Terraforming Mars, the one where you played against some super.
Terraforming Mars and Arc Nova, I advanced to the second round, which is essentially like the quarterfinals. And then Wingspan, I had a first round bye, so I made it to the quarterfinals there. But yeah,
So, but
then
you
I
ended up
started
playing
bumping
against
into
like.
the elite players. Yeah, and Arc Nova, I like went played against like one of the top rated players in the world. We
So you
got
played against like it's like
crushed.
playing against the super GM basically. That's crazy. Yeah, you learn from it too. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So it's basically like you're doing like the book version, right? We have the chessable version. Jordan's doing the book version, going back to the classics, right? It's pretty cool. I haven't tried those board games. Sounds fun. So Bishop D2. Okay, that's what. So now a couple of caveats. One is our ratings are in the 2200s. That doesn't mean that the puzzle is a 2200 rating. It's just it happened to comb the game and pull something from it. So it could be really any. I think this was a 1700. Doesn't matter, right? Second is it doesn't mean that I actually played the move just because there's this puzzle to solve. You can look at the actual game and see whether I played it or not. But I've seen ones where someone missed it and then they ended up losing. So hopefully I actually found this in the game. So this is from a Blitz game. Does it say the day? I'd have to pick it, go on to it. But yeah, so we're on move 20. We're on move 19. Black to move. So Bishop has just come out trying to develop because there was a mate threat here. So in terms of looseness, right, especially before this, well, there was a mate threat on F1, but we can still see there's looseness, right? Oh no, don't tell me. This is too easy. This is too easy. But there are issues on the back rank. Yeah, this one's really easy. I don't know why it even has that rating.
Yeah.
And yeah, so in terms of looseness though, F1, King, it doesn't look exposed, but because we can reach F1, it's not the greatest castle situation, and they don't have a loof, so you have some issues here. If they were a loof, they could run actually. This is a loose bishop. This is a loose rook in terms of tactics for us. But of course, we have our own things to do. They have a loose bishop. This rook is not quite, well, it has one attacker, one defender, a little something there. The queen's loose. So tons of looseness. The black king, not quite as exposed, but let's say the queen takes with check after the knight moves. There could be something there for a white too. Anyway, it's our move. So forcing moves, intersection. I would say also, again, remember, intersection of the power of the pieces and forcing moves. So where
I've
the
almost
black
missed it. I
pieces
finally now
intersect,
just
then
saw
it
it.
becomes really obvious what you should do.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else didn't see it until now, but yeah.
What is it, Isaiah?
I didn't see it until finally now. I thought it was something I thought you just take the bishop.
Yeah, well, that's the bait. That's the bait. It's like, oh, that's what they're hoping for, right? Well, it was literally
Right.
no, their only move was actually H3 or H4 because this is going to happen anyway. And they couldn't, the thing is on the previous move, they couldn't take the rook because you take back with mate. The only other move is sack the queen and then, again, prolong their, rather than hastening their demise, at least it would last another move. But yeah, so a lot of people might take the bait. Definitely don't take this way because then they'll win your rook. But yeah, there's a mate, right?
Yep, mate and one. Yeah,
Okay,
I
let's
thought you
do
take one
one
of the rooks
hard
with the
one.
rook.
Let's do one kind of hard one here. What's that?
I almost thought you take the rooks with the rook. Like my mind went everywhere else but mate with that one.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're looking through this kind of lens of the most forcing moves first, then you'll find it. You
Exactly.
have to, and that's how you
Wait,
find
this
brilliant
one
moves on
isn't
too.
hard.
What's that?
This one is easy.
This is a 2000
I see
Yeah.
a mate in two.
mate and
A
two.
really
Okay,
quick
this
mate
is
in
black to
two.
move.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I think
Yeah, the pawn is
this
the
is
bait.
kind of the geometric. I think Jordan. The only thing is it's a little geometric in terms of like making sure you look at different angles. So okay, but
But if you start with
no,
like the
they're threatening
checks
me.
and
They're threatening mate on you, so it better be a check. But yeah, look,
I,
Yeah.
exposed. Both kings are exposed. Our queen's hanging. The rooks are safe. Pawns. Oh, again, Jordan, is probably a bait thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna take the.
That's what I said. Yeah,
uh,
the pawn is the bait.
Yeah, that's the bait.
so
Don't fall for it.
I'm
The
going
zero is actually
queen.
even. 3 pawns for 2 pawns. Queen is about 9. Rooks are about 10 added together, right? So added up. So Jordan, what's the move then? How do we reach the
Then
white queen?
queen G1 check. King H3 is forced. And then queen G4 is checkmate.
Right. So but you saw that pretty quickly. You're boom, boom, boom.
He
But
saw it
given
before.
given
He
the
definitely saw it
forcing
before I
nature,
did.
yeah, given the forcing nature, you're saying it's easier. But now the new, see, it's interesting though. Think about intersection points. Well, this is just a square you can reach. So the intersection point actually becomes G4. That's the only place where you have, well, two things other than here and here with the pawn and king. But that's where you have the queen and king both looking, and that's how we catch the king.
I love how it's like is that called triangulation? The queen triangulated like kind of to
Sort
the
of, yeah,
G.
geometrically. I mean, that
Yeah.
triangulation is technically with the king, but you can see the same theme, yeah, carried out. So anyway, yeah, does that make sense in terms of a little bit about calculation trees, but mostly we're covering looking at the kind of context of the position, looking for, scenarios where tactics are more likely to arise. You see those red flags or sirens going off, and you want to avoid those yourself, right? So avoid them and seek them out for your opponent. And I'll just give an example. So if I click on this, let's see if hopefully I don't embarrass myself and actually did it. No, it's funny. Oh no, I blundered. Wait. Oh, then they blundered. Did I find it? No, I took the bait. I took the bait. Who won? I still won the game. Wait, how much? Oh, I had 7 seconds and they had 11 seconds. But here's the thing, 12 seconds. But here's the thing. If you're really strong in tactics, it is a 3 seconds added each move with the increments. That does help. If it's 3 flat, that'll be really hard. But when you
7 years ago. Wow.
you should see it. Oh, look, I already had the theme, Jordan. Oh, that's cool because how many years ago? 7? Wow.
Yeah.
So look, if I had done this, I would have mated him in either direction. There's a calculation tree. Here you have to go now to G5. No, wait, no, there's not. Oh, that would be a fork. That would just be, there's no mate. Because if you go to G5, he has an escape short in E4. If you go to G4, he has escape short in E3. You just do this, and then you win the rook, and you're easily winning. I don't think there's a mate. No, there can't be a mate here. He has too many escape squares now, right? But we are happy to win this, and then we're going to win the game. So anyway, we look at all the mutual blunders. Wow. Okay, he started. Was he winning or something? No, it was never really. Let's just. Oh, this is 45. You could just flip through it and see what happened. Oh, it's funny. Remember last week? Last week we were looking at this line, but my opponent had knight f3 in first, and I was talking about this line. Remember that? Whoever's. And then I like this line. Do you guys who remembers that with the queen f3, queen d7? Then there's the bishop sack thing. We were looking at this where you can actually. Jordan, didn't you say that you can't do that? Is that you? I think I'm getting some deja vu. This is not remember. This
No, I wasn't here last week.
do you guys remember that at all? Anyone?
I wasn't either.
Armin, you were there, right? Do you remember? We were talking about that in my game where it actually kind of came up. That line, exactly that line came up. But I ended up doing knight. Well, he went here. I brought out my bishop first because I didn't want to get stuck behind the pawn. Anyway, it's very similar. That's what I like, though. It's a nice line. It's saying like even, white's slightly better. It's very annoying, though. They have to play d3 or else like a4 and get squashed. I wonder if you should push if they do that. It likes black here. Yeah, they're just getting squashed and just develop that bishop.
Oh, this was a blitz game? Okay.
Yeah, it's a blitz game. But I used to play this all the time. When I reached 2200 during that climb, I was exclusively playing the Scandinavian. And I fell back on that a couple weeks ago when I played this game. So I'm like, I'm familiar with this one. I'll just go with it. It's funny. I wonder what happened in our first game. I was going to ask him when I played the same guy. I wonder if, these guys coming up from before, like the guy I played the simul against, same guy. Now he's a graduate, college graduate, I think. Or no, he's in college in Maryland, UMD or whatever. U Maryland in College Park. But yeah, it's crazy when you see him cycling through like that. So anyway, I come in, I get the bishop pair, make a wrong move apparently. Yeah, knight move looks tempting. Anyway, it's a blitz game, but kick the knight out. Okay, I can get my pawn back whenever I want. It likes white here. That's a pretty strong bishop. Doesn't like him anymore. And this bishop looks terrible, but You could probably unleash him later. Well, imagine if he comes here, he'll become really strong. So you could probably reroute later. I think what I had in mind. It was kind of a sloppy game. Whatever. Just maneuvers. Oh, he gets bad again. Oh, we're going for the kill on the king's side. Ah, that happened. I got it. I was thinking the same way 7 years ago. Why not, right? Improve. Now I'm pretty happy. Guess I was provoking him to loosen his pawns up. Come back. Kick him out. Now it likes black a lot. Wrong pawn. Well, he has the square now. Ooh, he could come in here. Wow, lots of blunders, huh? Oh, wait, could I have won his queen? Wow, wait, is that what? I don't know about that. Well, if he goes here, he gets trapped.
No, no, you missed the
Wait,
queen
what would
trap.
have happened? What would
No,
have
no,
happened?
he has queen d3 or 6.
Would
Yeah.
he have been trapped? No. Why does it say it's good for me? Why does it say it's so good for me though?
Your rooks, though. Yeah, your rooks would have trapped her.
Would she
Dang,
have
you
been
missed a
trapped?
queen trap.
But then he runs this way.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Cut him off.
No, because
Well,
you played rook
she's gonna have a hard
a6.
time getting out though. She's definitely gonna have a hard time getting out of there.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
guess what
yeah,
if the rook retreats? Then you'd probably take b3 or something.
definitely.
Oh, that's crazy. So she
Oh, the
hangs,
fork, the
queen
knight
hangs
fork.
good. So, but then there's like the knight almost get trapped. No, the knight's not gonna get trapped. So why is this good? The knight's gonna go away. Wait, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. I don't know. Apparently it likes black here. I think there's pressure, but I would just think it's pretty close if we're again. Anyway, we're both like mutually blundering a lot. And then I'm in trouble because she wins the pawn, and the knight's coming
I mean,
in.
it's a 3+3 blitz.
Yeah, we're not going to make perfect moves. And then here they could have gone knight in because if I take the queen, they take my queen and take back. But I just have to move my queen, I guess. Okay, so I sack it. Yeah, I mean it makes sense because I figure I'm going to come here, then get g2, right? Oh, then that's where she. Okay, I pick up the queen at f3 as well, but it made sense to me. So now I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're technically up a point. Magnus was talking recently about how the queen is actually more like 10 points. Well, they have to coordinate their pieces to make them better than the queen, and they just didn't quite get there. That queen's roaming around. Yeah. Very tempting move, right? I
There
went
was
the
always
wrong
this
way.
one
You have to
game.
start with this, so he has to go back. What's that?
Oh, you mentioned with Magnus with the queen with they have to coordinate and stuff with against the queen and stuff. There's always this one game that lives like rent free in my mind where Magnus sacked his queen for like 3 minor pieces, and I forget who it was against, but yeah, it was he like shielded his king with all his minor pieces. It was just and he had pawns still. It was just insane.
Yeah, you can definitely win with those three. The only time I ever got a brilliancy prize, I stacked my queen for knight and bishop, and then I just swarmed him like an elevator that just kind of came up, up, up. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. So check. So apparently you check with the wrong one. Here is that gonna be then I'm gonna get mated by the rook, so I have to go back. Does it have to be here? Doesn't matter. Then he goes back and forth. Anyway, so here's how we got to our position. Soon after this.
Mhm.
Oh, I missed this move. I had 7.6 seconds.
That's crazy that it just
I actually already had that position where I could have forked him and won his rook.
that was
And
crazy
then,
that said you
okay,
had an
wait,
inaccuracy.
what? I hung my queen, and then he hung his queen. I mean, then he didn't take my queen. So I blundered, he blundered, and then I have a mate, but I missed my mate. This is such an embarrassing game. And then I win the game because I just liquidate.
It's not even that much time pressure either. That's crazy.
And then he resigns. That's easy now. Yeah, I usually do better than that in time pressure, but it was just I don't know. Maybe my brain was fried or something. But
You had like 10 seconds that whole time though, I
moves
felt.
your brain gets kind of like putty at that point. So what's that?
It looked like you look like you always had around 10 seconds. Now it's more like okay, 5,
Yeah, well,
6.
I spend my time. I like to spend my time. Let's see. When did I get down now? Yeah, I was down. Yeah, I was playing like he had 24. Wait, how long was I down to? Where did I spend that much time? Okay, I spent a minute on the bad move. Long think, wrong thing.
Oh man.
And then I spent a while on F5, which was actually fine. And then I spent time on not taking the pawn. So when did I get down to 10? I don't know why I spent time on winning a pawn. Anyway, now I'm down to the 10-second. I'll move 20. And he still had a minute 23 on his clock. But I was able to pull it off still. Like that's the thing. I've won a lot of games like that, where my opponent will just try to blitz me out, and then I'll still handle it better than them in time pressure. Because like think about it, if they're blitzing it out as well, then they're not spending any more time than I am. They've banked up more time. But assuming we never get there to the extent, that it matters that they have that they need that extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, then I could still win. Yeah, for the most part, I can handle bullet games. All right. I had a good streak the other day.
That's the sour end of a victory where it's like you were losing though. You know what I mean? It's
What
like,
do you mean?
I just won a game where I was completely -5, like until an endgame slip up.
Yeah, it was just totally back and forth. But yeah, Jordan, you found it immediately. So with more puzzles, if I had done more puzzles, maybe I would have found that. And then it develops your intuition. All right. So anyway, that's that. Those are some puzzles, and now you guys know if you play more games on lead chess that you can look up your own puzzles. Not sure if I can do it for others, but it's kind of fun. And hey, who knows? Maybe you'll be solving a puzzle once and your game will pop up. So yeah, so hopefully that's helpful in terms of looking at the context, identifying where the looseness is. It could be loose squares, could be or loose squares, and if a piece or pawn is on that square, then it's a loose piece or pawn, right? So you're looking for those weaknesses that can't be covered by pawns. You're looking at the scope of pieces and where they intersect. So if you're aware of your opponent's scope of pieces, you know where the danger is. You know where your weaknesses are, you know the scope, and they want to obviously get to those weaknesses. But hey, they only have like 2 or 3 pieces out. Those are the ones that you need to be aware of, right? So you just have to know what those pieces can do, and obviously expose kings. So don't let your king be exposed. Make sure their king's exposed, right? Do whatever you can. Sack a pawn to keep their king in the center. Sack a piece to get 2 pawns and open up their castle king. Things like that. And those are the sirens when you know their tactics. And then once you see the tactical scenario, that's where you look at, okay, where are those pieces intersecting? Do I have checks, captures, and threats? And remember, start with checks. Always check it might be made. So cool. Good job, guys.